Hey everybody. So, wow. I can't actually describe the intensity of the last 2 months, nearly 3 months. I can't begin to explore and go into everything that I've been going through and experiencing and feeling and stuff. It's huge, like individual stories and situations and feelings and things that have been coming up. Anyone who's been following my journey on social media will be aware that we have been asked to leave our home of nearly 10 years. We've been in this house nearly 10 years, and in September we were asked to leave it, but that's a challenge in itself because it's not as easy. Anyone who knows anything about moving house at the moment, even if you've got the means and ability to do so, it seems even if you've got like a house in mind and you're trying to buy it, it seems there's things get in the way, and it's doesn't seem to be straightforward for anybody at the moment, and because of our circumstances, because we were in the process of a big like financial decision that we'd made to become more self-sufficient. That came just like crazy time. It was quite intense, and it has been quite intense. And then cosmologically, if you follow astrology, you'll know some really crazy shifts been going on in the astrology in the last 3 months or so. Again, no coincidence. There's absolutely no coincidence that we got our letter from our landlady saying, I'm going to need you to leave the day that we did. It was literally the astrology at that time was crazy. It was just as, if you know anything about it, it was just as Pluto entered Capricorn for the last time. So it's been quite crazy. In the last fortnight, there's been some really crazy stuff going on for us as a family. Nothing between ourselves, just with external events and situations and people and interference, and it's been crazy. All of which we've had to navigate whilst I've been navigating the slowest months of my year for Indigo Sky Holistic, which, you know, it's been an up and down journey for Indigo Sky Holistic since I started holistic therapy, since I chose 2020 to launch my holistic services and move away from product-based business. So today, well, in the last few days, I felt this shift begin within myself, that I'm feeling more aligned. I feel like there's more things coming up for me, opportunities for me to like move forward for Indigo Sky Holistic, and to move on with my goals and my aims for the services and the support that I'm here to provide. So today I got back to this is my Wealthy Woman journal. This journal is created by my wealth coach, Taylor Eaton. Taylor's been my coach and mentor for 4 years, about December of 2020, where I came into Taylor's awareness and started doing some human design work with her, actually, business coaching and human design. And this is now what she does, wealth activation, and this is her We're the Wealthy Woman journal, which I highly recommend getting if you're on a journey with money, finances, career, abundance. and I've not used it for about a month, more or less. And today I picked up where I left off, which involved me writing out and reciting a mantra, which is, my inner guidance is always guiding me to the abundance I seek. And while I wrote that out, I had like an epiphany, like an aha moment of like where I've been for the last 2 months, sort of in myself, in my shadow, in my whatever you want to call it. There's been an ego death or three in there. There's been a cocooning metamorphosis in there. There's been a bit transformation. There's been death and rebirth, death and rebirth. And as I wrote it out, so I'm actually writing. I'm not writing in the journal. I can't bear to spoil the journal, so I'm not writing in the journal. I'm writing in an external journal. And while I was writing in that, while I was writing it out, so the suggestion in the journal is to recite the mantra 20 times and then write your reflections and thoughts on it. So what I've been doing is writing it out and then reciting it, reading it aloud, and then writing the like what's my insights, feelings, experiences, what did I think during that. And while I was writing it, normally while I'm writing these things out, there's not a lot comes up, there's not a lot of realizations that come up. But while I was writing it out, I got this really powerful insight that I wasn't trusting myself. So my inner guidance has been telling me since 2000 and I don't even know when it started, 2016, when the UK government changed the benefit system here to introduce this new like way of consolidating all the benefits into one form. And my intuition has rang alarm bells since that was mentioned, and I have been in panic, and I have been in scarcity, and I've been in fear, and I've been like through since 2016. That was what prompted my healing journey. It was what prompted my exploration of like what I need to do something different. I need to change the way that I'm operating from my product-based handmade business. Needed to change because of the way that benefits system was going to work. And in the course of looking at how I could change from just product-based business to maybe teaching what I did and exploring ways that I could use that and utilize that in other ways, I went into deep energy healing. I went into some shamanic healing. I did this emotional clearing process, and I realised that, product-based, as much as I love it, and I'm going to start selling those products again, because I have a few. I've just packed them up in boxes, and I've just realised that, wow, there's some really beautiful stuff in there that really deserves love and a home. And a lot of it's baby wear, and it deserves babies to be wearing it. And and maybe I'll even make some more as well. We have plans as a family to set up a little Etsy shop, which is already, the account's already set up and everything for our little family venture with Etsy, because we're all creative, we've all got something we can put on there. And I realised as I wrote this mantra out, my inner guidance is always guiding me to the abundance I seek. That as I felt really, really powerfully this year that we didn't need to apply for this universal credit, that I have what it takes and we have what it takes to create the income necessary to not just survive, which is what we've been doing for the last 15, 16 years, but to thrive, like for the first time as a family, as a mum and a dad, as a family, for the first time for us to thrive, really. We can do that financially, but then the universe decided yeah, well, if you're going to do that, this house is not the right place for you to do that. You need to move. And I'm going to make you move. So there you go. There's your eviction notice. Off you go. Find somewhere else. And of course, stories are what they are. Panic set in. The vibration frequency really impacted me, not gonna lie. I've been down there in the like, oh my god, this is the end, what am I gonna do? Maybe I should, maybe I doubt my intuition, maybe I should go down that road. And of course, there's always helpful people out there who are like, you should apply, maybe that's the right thing for you to do. And all the time, spirit and my guides and my intuition are all going, don't do it. Trust what you've been told. Trust. And I basically ended up just surrendering here in my bed with the Umbrella Academy and Downton Abbey, because I feel like they're actually significant things that I've been called to watch in the last couple of months. Really feeling and leaning into my manifestor, human design manifestor energy of resting, which is like, if you know anything about human design and manifestors, we have this deep need to rest while we recuperate our energy for the next burst. And oh my god, something powerful's coming, because there's a big deep period of rest. Anyway, I wrote this mantra out. While it came to me that I hadn't been trusting my guidance. My inner guidance has really clearly told me not to apply for this benefit, not to go down that road, to know that I am good enough, I am sufficient enough, we've got what it takes to move out of that story that we've been in and that I've been in for a lot of my life. And then as I read it, it sort of solidified. That was when I was like, oh my goodness, this is why I've been watching the programs I've been watching, so that I can see where wealth needs to change, where the patterns of stories that people hold within themselves need to change, and the power as well of us as human beings to be more than just what we've been led to believe. There's big changes coming for humanity in the coming 5 to 10 years. I know that. Every prophecy in every type of civilization for the last couple of thousand years has been telling people that. And this is what's prompted me to do this, is because I've just done my little card reading, which, because I'm recording this, I can't flip my phone around to share, but I'm going to show you the cards. So I have 3 decks that I use every day. I have this one, the Creatrix deck, and then I pull a card from this one, Wealthy Woman deck, and then I pull a card from the Rose Oracle deck. So the first card I pull from the Creatrix deck, which is about what was my creative side, what was my Creatrix powerful face, like here to change the world, need to know. And this one is open-hearted oneness, which came out. And that, so I'm like, because this is a new deck, I've only had this deck, I actually won this deck in the Muse Oracle Press Halloween giveaway, and I won this deck. I'm like, such a beautiful deck. So I'm reading the guidebook after I've like intuitively, and I'm like, okay, open heart oneness. It says love, forgiveness, transformation. I've been doing Ho'oponopono with I guess with money for the last few days, and this as I read that, I was like, last night I was like transmuting, I had a sore throat, and I was like, I'm gonna get clearly got to get rid of that. And I was like used energy healing to like clear that. It's really cool, because last night I really thought I was coming down with a sore throat. My 13-year-old has had a sore throat this week and a cold, and I was like, oh god, I'm energetically picking up on that. So it's like, right, okay, so I'm just going to transmute that. If I've energetically taken it from her, because that's what I do as a mum, that's what most mums do without knowing, then I'm going to transmute that and just take that away, let that go for myself, and then hopefully for her too. So that was what it was interesting. Transmutation was in that. So then I got the little guidebook, which I'm going to struggle to see because I've got my lamp on, and I can't, because I'm recording on my phone, I can't put the flash on, which is usually how I read these guidebooks in this light. But basically, as I read through the guidebook, it was all about that connection between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. It was all about open-hearted, obviously it's open-hearted oneness, that's what the card is. It's all about opening to the literally the guy the guy was like what I've been journaling about, basically the guidance from within, to know that circumstances and situations that may feel heavy and dark, to surrender to them, which is obviously, that's part of that's the whole focus of the 6-month process that I've in the middle of launching, that I have been launching for 6 months. That's the whole purpose of that, is to dive into surrender and trust after the rest aspect is done, which is what I've been doing. I knew there was a reason why it got postponed from starting on the equinox to be starting now. I knew it would mean that I required to literally surrender more and trust more, and gosh, has that been the case in the last the last 3 months, the last 2 months, and the last fortnight particularly. Significant things have really pushed me into, I have to feel that depth of surrender that is real powerful stuff. And then, so that card was just real, trust that guidance, trust that need to surrender, lean into it, and allow it to transform me. So the card was for me, allow it to transform us into whatever it is that we're wishing to create. So that was that one. And then the Wealthy Woman cards, 2 come out, and one is, you can't make this shit up, you really can't make this shit up, Divine Surrender, and the Orchestrator. And I was laughed, Divine Surrender, yeah, that's literally what I've been doing for the last couple of months at least. Really feeling what that's like. But then the Orchestrator is about, we're the orchestrator of our own lives, which is the same with the Surrender card. The Divine Surrender card is all about, you can't control how things happen. So when I pull my Wealth Woman card, it's right, what does my wealth journey need to know today? Divine Surrender, it's you can't control how things come, how things happen. All we can control is ourselves and how we react and how we move forward through that. And sometimes that does mean going down into that means letting go of, that's what surrender is. Kind of surrender has this connotation of being giving up in war or something. But in this, for me, when I teach about surrender, I'm teaching that we're releasing the physical and the experiences that are in our external reality, and that we're releasing them to higher forces, to God, to source, to spirit, to our innate wisdom that we maybe forget and ignore. And this is what's come to me through my journaling, is that I've been ignoring or not trusting the inner guidance that I've had for years, that this was the right path to take, that this is the right way for me to go, that this is how things change for 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 people, how things change for humanity. Like the wealth story for humanity has got to change. Everyone keeps saying that. Everybody keeps saying we can't keep on as we are with the way things are for people financially. And it starts with the people who are on this journey with wealth creation and consciousness around money and abundance, and that's how this changes, so that we can be empowered and know we are orchestrating our story and our journey. And that's, yeah, that they were those two cards that came out for me with the Wealthy Woman deck today. And I couldn't help but, right, I've got to tell this as it is, as it's happened, because it's been such an intense 3 months, 2.5 months, 3 months. It's been so intense and shocking to my system. It's brought up a lot of the stories. It's reminded me of why I'd made changes in my life to be able to step into this next level of my journey as more self-sufficient, as more like creatively minded in what I'm able to achieve, and more open to the greater picture. When we got our eviction notice, it suddenly occurred to me that not only could this house not hold this new us, this new me and this new family that we're becoming, this is not the right place. As I began to explore and look and think of like things that could happen and what we actually want, like our big picture as a family is like to have land, which, you know, is like, if you're actually looking how easy it is to get land these days, well, that's a whole can of worms you can go down if you want to, about like who owns the land and why we can't just own a plot of land, given how much empty land there is out there and how many empty properties there are out there, and how we can't just claim an empty property that's sat empty for decades, and we can't, like, people can't just claim it. It's got to be, there's so much red tape and so much bureaucracy that interferes in people just having a home, whilst so many people are facing homelessness or literally living on the streets or sofa surfing in friends' homes. How hard it is if people want to create self-sufficient communities, how hard that is. There's like Facebooks of people who want that, but there's so much red tape. There's so much issue, just utterly ridiculous. And that's a whole rabbit hole. I recommend you go and look down about who owns the land and why we can't just claim a space for ourselves to call home. It's all so restricting and lowering of people's potential, all by design, to keep people small and in their little box and in their little contained box, because, you know, we there are forces out there that don't want us to know how powerful we are and how creative we are and how much potential we have to heal the planet and heal ourselves and expand into more. So yeah, it's been a steep learning curve for the last few months. Definitely have found myself coming out of it in the last fortnight or so, despite a couple of interesting events in that time. And yeah, that is where we are. So they are my they're my words of thoughts and wisdom and reflections for today. And my final card from the Rose Oracle deck is the Rapture card, which is all about really, really. So when I pull this card, this is like, what's my feminine side need? Because I've been so caught in my masculine for so long, being the like doing, like trying to control everything and be in charge of everything, all trauma response, all a little bit Taurus as well. Like, yeah, being very stuck in the action mode and not the surrender and receiving mode. And this card is all about embracing the depths of femininity, being softer, which I do find actually really hard to be, because that requires vulnerability. That requires levels of vulnerability that I've never been really comfortable with. And yeah, I think the fact that that's my card for today, Rapture, which is leaning into sensuality and love. And again, it's about surrendering to that feminine energy and letting somebody else take care of me for a change, which has been a hard thing for me to do, but I'm learning. So there we go. I wanted to share those with you and that with you today. And I'm now going to go and get ready for the day. Have some content to create. Yeah, if you'd like to come and join me for Rest Surrender Trust, which starts in, I think, 2 weeks today, maybe. It will be 2 weeks today. It starts with that deepening into rest, and I'm doing a little bonus call on Tuesday for those already signed up. On we'll talk a little bit on surrender. I've done a bonus call already on rest, and then I'll do this little bonus call this Tuesday on surrender, and then another one next Tuesday or this coming Tuesday on surrender, and the following Tuesday on trust, and just start whetting the appetite of what's coming in that 6 months group process. There's a Telegram chat. All the content is on my website, and it's going to be a really beautiful journey into what's possible when we stop trying to control everything and we take time for ourselves, and knowing that when we do that, we're not letting anyone down, that actually we get more done. We become more productive, we become more powerful, we become more open to opportunities and growth and expansion when we accept that as human beings we need to rest sometimes, we need to slow down. That's okay. It's not, we don't have to be stuck in masculine action. Even if you're a man, you can slow down and take some time to be softer and more relaxed and more receiving of the energy of source and the energy of creativity that comes when we slow down. So let me know what your thoughts are, and I'll see you again soon.